I liked Wonder Woman 1984, a lot of people didn't. They said it had bad CGI, it was full of plot holes, literally 150% unwatchable. I can't believe it, I had so much fun watching this movie, what's the deal? Pedro Pascal hammed it up, he was super fun, he was like the Joker in Batman 89, just going crazy, chewing the scenery up. His motivations weren't just greed is good and domination for world power. He was trying to catch up and play catch up from all the bad things that happened to him earlier in his life, shown in a montage at the end during the truth sequence. He also wanted to impress his son, so his entire life had been building himself into other things and projecting that, but always playing catch up. And what comes with catch up? Desperation is the gambler's fallacy, right? Oh, I lost $5 on this scratch off. I'm gonna spend $10 more on the next one to make up for the $5 of the last one. All he was doing was trying to jump over the hurdles that he had to take to get to whatever his goal was. That was the point of the whole opening sequence with the Amazon Ninja Warrior sequence. It was amazing. It looked great. It had fun action. And she wasn't allowed to win, not because she was cheating, but the whole point was that the truth is the only thing that can be measured up against. Whether she thought she won, the truth did not say that on paper, which was a major lesson that she didn't learn and she had to learn in this movie. So people who say that the first scene had nothing to do with anything or never got resolved or anything, every character had something to deal with, and Barbara's character had to deal with it too. She had to deal with the consequences of giving up her humanity and warmth and empathy to become better than Diana, because she saw that Diana was the hot lady at the office, and so she wanted the attention and she wanted the brains and the brawn and everything that goes along with it. And Max Lord's character, his whole thing that he had to learn was you can't have it all. That's the whole point of that first sequence. She told Diana, you can't have it all. Diana told him, you can't have it all. It's about what the truth is, not your own version of the truth. It's about not taking shortcuts and not trying to weasel your way forward and jump 3 steps like in Jumanji, because then you end up with a monkey's tail. Monkey's paw, that's the whole thing. That's the whole point of the stone, is a monkey's paw analogy. It's fantastic. Steve Trevor, super funny, super hilarious guy. He comes to the 80s, and not only does he think stuff is cool, but he's willing to accept it. He's so openly kind of looking forward to the new stuff that comes along. And I think it was established in this movie because she keeps mentioning he's a pilot and all the stuff, and he does a lot of old-fashioned stuff to help her along the movie. Like he blocks bullets with a tray, a serving tray. Ding, ding, ding. That's real old-fashioned. He also does old-fashioned detective work in the office, and they're looking at papers and stuff, and he's looking in the garbage for receipts and schedules. That's so awesome. That's so cool. He gets to contribute to the plot. Don't even get me started on why I don't think that the body takeover thing has to do with the R word. And I don't want to get into that stuff. I don't think we would be even applying that stuff if this movie came out in the 80s. I don't know why people want to keep talking about it. So, the plot has to deal with wishes and the Power Stone, and everyone keeps thinking Barbara gets a second wish at the end of the movie. No, she doesn't get a second wish. The whole thing is, he wishes he is the stone, and that gives him the power to grant other people's wishes. In return, because I guess he figured it out, that when he grants people's wishes, he takes something from you, and he, as a human, can decide what to take. The object as itself, just kind of it's nebulous or whatever, but he literally has the power of the god. So he can choose what he takes from people as payment for their wish, depending on the scale of what they want. Guy at the beginning of the movie wants a cup of coffee. 10 seconds later, he says, it's too hot. It's like The Simpsons when Homer wishes for a turkey sandwich, takes a bite. Oh, this turkey's too dry. Right? So, in all that, Barbara doesn't get a second wish. He says, hey, you're so cool, you're protecting me, you're on my side. What do you want? I will grant you that via the power of the machine. I feel like the machine is amplifying everything, even the powers that he can get from the machine. Like the cameras are on him and they're using the government Star Wars technology to microwave, to physically get into people's bodies. So when the machine is on, he can get that shit going. So people are missing the whole point. They're like, well, how come he can grant unlimited wishes? He's not granting unlimited wishes to people, and everyone only gets the one wish. And let's bring it back to the theme of the movie, is that you can't get everything, you can't have your cake and eat it all as well. Is that how you say it? And so he's trying to do what he needs to do to protect himself so that he can look cool in the eyes of his son. It's not all for himself. I think I said that already. So when she's lassoed him and he's connected to the rest of the world, she's not like just saving the entire world with a speech. She's showing them the truth. There's only one truth, and the lasso is one of these godly objects imbued with the power. It's the core essence of how it powers up the item in question. And so the lasso was just beaming out to everybody via microwaves. Everyone was imbued with their own vision of the truth. He saw his vision of the truth, which was his parents. His father wasn't great. He didn't have a great childhood. He was beaten up. I assume. They didn't show him getting beaten up, but I assume he was beaten up because he's a nerd. And he had holes in his shoes and no one liked him, and he grew up just wanting to be successful and be cool and just be like everybody else, you know? But in being like everybody else, he wanted to leapfrog all the hard work and stuff you have to do to get to that end goal. And I think a lot of people missed the point on a lot of that. And not because of speculation. I'm not making this up. All this stuff was in the movie. Some of the stuff people are saying online, it's just like, well, you know, I think that they left the original script somewhere in a drawer and then started from scratch and like took some elements. But were you there? Were you there in the pre-production meetings? Were you there at the table read when they were going through all this? Were you there when they were storyboarding this? Where are you basing your information from? I'm just trying to use the rules that were laid out in the movie to help explain why people are missing the point of what happened in the movie. And I got a bunch of downvotes online, meaning that no one is really going to care about what I have to say, but I'm the cinema optimist, and that's why I like this movie. Just going crazy, some nitpicky points that I think were a little weird. The fireworks being at the 4th of July, I don't know, like they could have said one line that explained that it was 4th of July. I don't mind that other people are wearing coats and jackets and stuff. That seems to be the biggest complaint, that, oh, it's July in DC, it's super hot. And also, at the end of the movie, because we're supposed to tie this into like the current day DC EU films, right? So there wasn't really a mechanism in place that made everybody forget what happened. I feel like I needed Will Smith to pop in at the end, like when he's connected to the machine and Will Smith steps in the machine and he goes, "I make this look good." Wonder Woman 84 is not bad. It's not great. It's really fun. I will say that. I was invested in the emotions of the movie from the get-go, and I was emotionally invested in all the characters till the end, and I feel like the themes really played out to everyone's demise and benefit, and we all learned something along the way. And if you didn't learn anything... No, I'm supposed to be the cinema optimist. I'm a fun guy. I'm a fun guy! I think I'd give this movie a B+. I don't think I could give it an A- for like the reason that everyone still remembers what happened, you know? I also think that people like apply comic book logic to a movie. Like, if this was an extension of a comic book, a 22-page comic book, or a 42-minute TV show, right? Like the Wonder Woman show, no one would bat an eye. You would be reading it and be like, yeah, that's fantastic. I also slurp my fingers when I turn pages. And you'd be watching it on TV and be like, oh yeah, Linda Carter was doing some really cool stuff, and you know, it's TV show, so the effects aren't that great. So why does the effects have to matter in a movie? It's a comic book movie. And not to mention, that 80s mall scene at the beginning made me feel like it was a live-action version of the Super Friends cartoon, which set the whole tone for the rest of the movie, and I was just like in awe of all the cool spectacle that happened. The fireworks scene was pretty cool to me. I felt like a little kid watching Cartoon Network on Saturday afternoon. And Solomon Grundy want pants too. Listen, I liked it. It was a really fun time. I hope you have a good time with these little, what do I call these? Optimisms. Why? Because I'm the cinema optimist. See ya!